Ever wondered how the relationship between two of the world's most populous countries, India and China, evolved over the years? Well, it all started when these two colossal nations stepped into the realm of independence. As newborn states, they initially shared a bond of mutual respect symbolized by the Panchsheel or the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. It was a doctrine that emphasized respect for sovereignty, non-aggression, non-interference, equality, and mutual benefit. A significant milestone in their relationship was the Bandung Conference of 1955. Here, India played a pivotal role in bringing China onto the international stage, a move that marked the beginning of a new era in Asian diplomacy. It was a moment of unity, a moment where two giants stood shoulder to shoulder, promising a future of peaceful coexistence. However, the harmony didn't last long, with the first major conflict arising just a few years later. The year 1962 marked a significant downturn in India-China relations. A simmering border dispute escalated into full-fledged armed conflict, known today as the 1962 Sino-Indian War. The heart of this dispute lay in the Aksai Chin and Arunachal Pradesh regions, both claimed by the two emerging superpowers. The war, although brief, was a significant event in the history of both nations. China emerged victorious, seizing control of Aksai Chin, a move that deepened the chasm between the two nations. This conflict, heavily influenced by the geopolitical dynamics of the time, left a lasting imprint on Sino-Indian relations. The aftermath was fraught with bitterness, mistrust, and diplomatic isolation, casting a long shadow over bilateral relations. The war's legacy is still evident today, as the border dispute remains unresolved. The echoes of this conflict continue to reverberate in the collective memories of both nations, shaping their interactions and policies. The aftermath of the war kept the two nations apart for decades. Despite the initial hostilities, the late 20th century saw a gradual thawing in the relations. A significant milestone was the visit of Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi to China in 1988. This diplomatic move helped in mending fences and sowing seeds of cooperation between the two Asian giants. The following decade, the 90s, marked a series of historic agreements signed by both nations. They pledged to maintain peace and tranquility at their shared borders, a commitment that was further strengthened with similar agreements in the early 2000s. This period showcased a conscious effort by both India and China to put aside their differences and work towards a peaceful coexistence. However, this journey wasn't a smooth sail. The relations between these two nations continued to be a complex dance, a delicate balance of power and interests. Yet, the relations remained complicated with recurring tensions. The 21st century brought new challenges and opportunities for India-China relations. As we moved into the new millennium, the border dispute between India and China continued to simmer with occasional flare-ups. The Doklam standoff in 2017 marked a significant chapter in this ongoing narrative. Both nations found themselves in a tense military face-off at the Doklam Plateau, a disputed territory near the Bhutan-China-India tri-junction. This standoff, lasting over 2 months, was eventually resolved through diplomatic negotiations. Just 3 years later, in 2020, the Galwan Valley clash erupted, marking the most serious military conflict between the two nations in more than 4 decades. Soldiers from both sides lost their lives in this brutal hand-to-hand combat, signaling a new low in the bilateral relations. However, amidst these border tensions, we also observe an interesting paradox. The economic ties between India and China have grown stronger over the years. China is one of India's largest trading partners, with bilateral trade reaching a historic high in recent years. Chinese investments in Indian startups and infrastructure projects have also been on the rise. This economic interdependence presents a potential for future cooperation. As two of the world's fastest growing economies, India and China have much to gain from mutual collaboration, especially in areas such as technology, clean energy, and climate change. Yet, the key to unlock this potential lies in the resolution of their border disputes and building mutual trust. The peaceful coexistence of these two Asian giants is not just crucial for their own progress, but also for regional and global stability. Their relationship is a delicate balance of competition and cooperation, often referred to as coopetition. While the future of India-China relations remains uncertain, It's clear that the path they choose will have significant implications for the world. As we continue to navigate the 21st century, the evolving dynamics of this relationship will undoubtedly be a central theme in the global narrative. In just a few minutes, we traversed the complex journey of India-China relations. From their birth as independent nations through a period of harmony, the strain of the 1962 war, and the gradual thawing of relations, we've seen it all. The recent developments and future prospects paint a picture of two giants at a crossroads, navigating the tumultuous waters of diplomacy. As we watch these two giants navigate their relations, one thing is certain: their decisions will shape not just their own destinies, but the course of global politics as well.